righty, guys. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thank you so much for those that joined me this morning. If you have not watched this morning's video, please go back and watch it. It's literally like under 20 minutes. Okay, who do I have here? Shout out to Chell Bell, Jen, hoping for answers. Hoping for answers. Thank you so much for the 199 earlier. I was literally in a hurry and I could not acknowledge your super sticker, so thank you. Miss Clover, thank you. Welcome, Granny B. Granny B, welcome, welcome, Bunny. Awesome, thank you. Gumby, did you change your name? This is this is this is Grumby or Gumby, but I found out there's a bad Gumpy, and I didn't want to be associated with that name. Oh, okay. So is it Tatessa? Is that how you say your name now? Let me know if I said it right, because you're my member and I want to say it right. Jen. Okay. All right, Brienne, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Sakina, guys, welcome. Happy Friday. Shout out to everybody from San Fernando, Cali. Shout out to everybody from Cali, man. Stay warm and keep it warm. Peekaboo finally made it live. Jet Judson. Oh my gosh. I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Linda, welcome. Rose, Susu, TJ, Jennifer. Oh my gosh. Welcome. All right, you guys, come on in. Hit that like button. Laced in chains. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, guys. Belinda, shout out to everybody from Facebook. Belinda's always sharing our lives on Facebook. Thank you so much, Belinda, for doing that. I appreciate you. Hey, April. Welcome. Oh my gosh. Welcome. Good afternoon. Shout out to everybody from Michigan, and everybody else that's joining us from all over the world. Bitch Bree, welcome. Marie, welcome. It's 61 degrees in Rhode Island today. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I think that's pretty warm for 61 degrees in January, but I could be wrong. Let me know. Okay. So shout out to everybody because you guys were going in on these comments this morning. I was a little surprised. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of views in the morning, which is fine because I typically just go live and things happen, whatever. But yes, the Lord 420 Mama said this case is a shit show. Is it's becoming interesting. Okay, to say the least. It's becoming interesting. Lord, well, nice. That's nice weather. Hey there, welcome. Shout out to everybody from Wisconsin. Um, cold in Michigan. All right, we gonna get started, okay? And for those that are just joining us and didn't watch earlier, I'll give you a little short review of what happened, okay? So last night, I saw that NewsNation had released a video, and it was a very interesting video. And they were sourcing. They said source surviving Idaho roommate thought noise was partying. And I'll read the article. It says a survivor of the University of Idaho killings allegedly thought that the noise resulted from partying, asked the victims to quiet down, and mistook the killer as a guest. A source exclusively told News Nation. So, were they speaking exclusively to a source? A lot of us were just trying to figure this out, right? Because what is in this article is very concerning. Now, I saw Pascal went live yesterday and I was watching him too, and I was like, yo, that is a concern because the affidavit doesn't support that. If you go to page 4 of the affidavit and halfway to page 5, it is a concern. Hey, CL, definitely. Well, now, keep in mind, BF, who is the other surviving victim, um, a roommate, is not really highlighted on the affidavit. Okay. So, in this article that Ashley Banfield put out, who's from News Nation, okay, is basically saying that the source spoke directly with surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen, who allegedly yelled about the noise heard during the killings because she mistook it for a party. So this was around 3 or 4 in the morning, or two, well, the time frame, 2 to 4, okay? And there was a source that I guess Ashley Banfield from News Nation spoke to, and they directly told Banfield that Dylan, who allegedly yelled about the noise heard during the killings because she mistook it for a party. All right, so there was yelling. Mortensen allegedly heard noises around 4 a.m. She opened her door and yelled, "Calm down. You're being loud, and I'm trying to sleep." That is what the source is saying here. Okay? If you go back to the affidavit, there is nothing there that is listed that would even support that there was any yelling whatsoever. Well, and to Tessa, this is making the case so darn messy. Where is the gag orders? The gag orders, all right, let me give you guys a timeline. The gag orders, what I found out was gag orders happened on January 3rd, all right? January 3rd, the gag orders happen, okay? Since January 3rd, between the 19th and the 20th of January, I believe the attorneys of the families of the victims have been included to the gag orders, all right? So when I showed you that video this morning, that video was released January 13th. Okay? No lie here. Look at this. Let me show you guys. And since it's been released, it has received over 37,000, close to 38,000 views. All right? It's a much smaller channel, but I mean, the views, it got the views. It was this video. In this video specifically, and you could see it, it premiered January 13th. So I was like, well, this person who released the video is saying that they're close, they're in the circle, that his girlfriend is best friends with Dylan, and they've been hanging out since however many days since after what happened with Idaho, right? And I was thinking, I said, well, shit, then Ashley Banfield puts this article out yesterday. Okay, gag order was the 3rd. I don't know if Dylan is just disclosing information to this, if there is any validity to this. I'm going to replay this video for those that don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so you guys can listen and let me know your thoughts.
Okay, so before we dive into what I'm referring to about the Fed screwing or attempting to screw Dylan, and give you a brief background as to who I am. So my girlfriend
And just to give you guys a little bit more too, this information mirrors exactly what Ashley Banfield put out yesterday and what Pascal was talking about in his live yesterday. This video, if you listen to it, and we're going to go back to that article, it mirrors precisely what the a close source said. Okay? So it's either A, people are breaking gag orders, B, Banfield is getting information from YouTube, and that's the close source, or C, we don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, let me go ahead and play.
friend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean girlfriend is in or attempting to screw Dylan, and give you a brief background as to who I am. So my girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident occurred. And I've seen her a plethora of times as well. So you're going to notice I'm not going to use words like allegedly, supposedly, because all of this is actual firsthand factual information. Where should I start to clear things up? First of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan suffering from PTSD or trauma or any of that. None of that is accurate. In fact, when we try to console Dylan after the incident, she's the one that was laughing at me and my girlfriend and I, talking about we're so weird when we tried to give her a hug and stuff. So she's still the same old Dylan. She's had a rough life growing up. She's been through a lot. She doesn't have PTSD and didn't suffer any trauma. Um, the incident that night, uh, and what I'm referring to with the feds actually put a lot of words into her mouth that she didn't say herself.
Pay attention to what this guy's saying. Now, I I don't know about, first of all, I don't necessarily agree with what he's saying about, well, she didn't suffer any PTSD. Things like that take time to kind of show its symptoms. So I'm not necessarily married to what he's saying. I'm not married to any of what he's saying at this point. But he does bring up some interesting points. I want you to remember that the affidavit talks about bushy eyebrows, okay? Bushy eyebrows, which is a point that we know was an identifier for Koberger. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it like that.
First, so there was a lot of leading statements that they were insinuating to her, and she was really scared the first few days, obviously, after the incident occurred. So, like, the reason none of it makes sense in the affidavit is because it didn't really happen that way. So, she never stood there shocked when she saw the individual. She was just standing in her doorway, like, like anybody who opens the door. It was just, she opened the door and yelled at Ethan and Xana, and who she thought was their friend. She yelled at them to be quiet. That's what was going on with that situation. And and she just went back into the room. She locked the door like usual and, you know, went to sleep. Everything was quiet after she yelled at them. So
So she yelled at them. Okay, that's what this person is saying. Let's go back to Banfield real quick. Okay, let me show you that article again. This was again released yesterday. The source spoke directly with surviving roommate Dylan Mortensen, who allegedly yelled about the noise heard during the killings because she mistook it for partying. Mortensen allegedly first heard noises around 4 a.m. She opened her door and yelled, "Calm down, you're being loud, and I'm trying to sleep." She then closed the door and locked it, according to sources. Later in the night, Mortensen heard more loud noises, so she opened the door. She saw the killer walking down the hall, but she wasn't frightened. She assumed he was a guest of the other roommate. They're partying, according to the source. These new details slightly contradict initial reports in the affidavit released in January. Police said a roommate heard noises inside the house and opened her door to find a man clad in black clothing and a mask with bushy eyebrows. As the witness stood in frozen shock face, the man walked towards the backsliding door and she locked herself in the room. She said she did not recognize him, according to the affidavit. Mm. Hold up. Let's finish that other video. Okay.
she didn't think anything of it. For everyone who's creating these random stories about her being shocked or traumatized, she didn't realize anything was going on. And it might sound crazy, might sound dumb, but she really had no clue anything was going on. They're being a little loud, so she yelled at them to be quiet, and that's it. She locked her door and she just went back to her room. And she didn't want to be nosy or anything. So, she was kind of new to that house, so she didn't want to be nosy and get up all up in their business, especially at in the middle of the night or early morning. So it's as simple as that. Everyone trying to blow that whole situation into something that's not. Um, so yeah, that's that. And she didn't actually get a real good look uh, at Brian. At the time, she assumed it was one of Xana and Ethan's friend who was just getting ready to leave, who was walking out. She didn't get that good of a look. The feds were really aggressive with Dylan the first few days, which is why she hired the attorney to begin with, because of the treatment of her during the interview, more like an interrogation, to be honest. So that's why she got an attorney, because the way they were talking to her and they didn't really understand or believe why she's the only one alive when you kind of skip rooms to get to the other two rooms. So she didn't really like the feel of how the interrogators or the feds were talking to her. Um, and within like a few days after the incident, they approached her with pictures of Brian. It was like, "Is this the guy? Do you think this is the guy? This is definitely him, right?" And they were almost leading her to believe this has to be the person.
Chell, she says, so do you think the source is someone the news talked to, or they just found this guy on YouTube randomly and reporting it? That's what I'd like to know. And shout out to Samantha, my subby, who was under my comments and said where to find this person. She's okay with me saying Samantha because she's a subby. Um, and then there's other things too, other videos that Banfield had released and that were very much mirroring TikTokers with less following. Um, I don't know. This is what I don't understand. This video was released 4 weeks ago, making it January 13th. The gag order happened January 3rd. And then they added more people to the gag order on the 19th or 20th. Uh, I I don't know. He said that she didn't get a good look at him, or that's what I'm trying to figure out. And again, take this with a grain of salt as far as with this person, because I don't. Anybody can come up here and say I'm a close source to whatever person. I could say that. It doesn't mean that I am, but I find it mighty interesting that what he's saying does kind of mirror a little bit of what Banfield put out. And I'm a little concerned because we know that there's contradictions now. What does this mean? What does this mean for everyone? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but let me go ahead and play. Let's play this.
And she wasn't really sure, but they kind of put those words in her mouth. It's almost like, they were insinuating it so much to where she was like, "Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, no, it's definitely him." And that's when they just kind of like ran with it. So what you're seeing in the affidavit is it didn't play out that way. Um,
Hey, in 1 second, hey, Jennifer, I know you're saying some stuff here in the chat. I want to be, um, do you have a source for what you're saying, or are you just, like, who's your source? I'm seeing the chat. TJ, from what I saw and said, what the victim showed me, I saw him do all of this by himself with no kind of remorse whatsoever. He did this with the hell of a lot of hate in him on some incel shit. I guess, Jennifer, can you tell me what is your source? Because I want to be careful how, I mean, even I feel some type of way about talking about this. But let me know, Jennifer, what you're sourcing. Another psychic. All right, Jennifer, just make sure you put that again. I have to be very careful because I've had other people say that they're psychics. Um, and I want to be very mindful that a lot of people are coming here for factual things that are substantiated. Sometimes psychics can't provide that. So I want to be careful with that, please, and thank you. Um, you're more than welcome to stay in the chat. I just want you to be very mindful and careful how you use your words. Okay? I think that everything has been is purely speculation, even people in the defense of Dylan. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Haley's love. Absolutely. It's not fair and it discredits the channel. Not fair. And I'm being nice, guys. I really am. I mean, I'm just trying to be mindful and careful. No disrespect, Jennifer, but you know, everybody has different beliefs. Yeah, and let's not get too wrapped up. I would agree. Thank you. Is a prosecutor filing felony, Melanie? And shout out to you. Thank you for coming. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. If you watch the interrogation videos, it is unfathomable. I can't even say that part. Sakita, you're killing me. That the police pressured Dylan because the version sounds more realistic. Yes, next, Samantha, this is the person that post it. See, I read comments. I don't always comment back. I might heart it and thumbs up. Um, Samantha says, so glad you're sharing this. Next Banfield headline would be Dylan hired an attorney. Yeah, because I kind of figured that she did. But is that where, are they going to pull that information from this person? I don't know. I don't know. Absolutely. Yeah, Jennifer, you can hang out. I want us to be very careful. Everyone that will question this video, but when Banfield says they believe it, I just want Banfield because Pascal made a great point yesterday. Where is Banfield getting their information? Lord, my mercy, my head's sticking out. Where's Banfield getting their information? Like they're coming up with this information after the gag order has been initiated as of January 3rd. Where is Banfield getting their information from? How are they citing their sources? And they're not saying that. So I'm a little concerned. Harsh said a new affidavit was filed Wednesday and speculated it is related to the gag order appeal. Not sure what his source is. Okay, I haven't seen a new affidavit. Has there been a new affidavit? Because I haven't seen one, and I'm sure we would have gone live and talked about it. Mm, mm. It is a touchy situation, absolutely. But I'm concerned because where are they getting their sources? We need to know. I think it's only fair to ask, and I think Pascal made a great point to say that.
So, Dylan's attorney and her, and actually all of us, are pretty upset at how they threw her under the bus in the affidavit. When's the last time you've seen a witness or like a snitch in a case, their actual names being mentioned? You know, the fact that they didn't redact it. We all think that the feds and prosecutors threw her name in there purposely to apply more pressure because Dylan was really wishy washy during the interrogation. And with them, putting these words, set in stone on paper, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on her now.
And to be fair, when you read the affidavit, okay, the Alpha David, when you read the Alpha David, um, it says who interviews Dylan. It says it's about 3 agencies, and we can look at it. There's 3 different agencies that interview her, okay, and that they get her statement. But it makes me wonder though, because what she said here, and I'm not expecting. Look, another thing we have to take into account is, um, oh, is he live discussing the new filing? Okay, great, great. I asked her to put it on your community wall. You can see it there. Okay, I saw this video was posted 4 weeks ago on a channel, and I saw it weird, only coming out. Thank Mad Catter. You know why it's coming out now? Because Banfield, in my opinion, because it's similar to what Banfield put out yesterday, very much mirroring. This sounds to me what the close source told them. Is this where they're getting their information? Because Banfield didn't put out who said it. Who said it? Mm-mm-mm. Yes, please get those like buttons up, please. Please. This is interesting. So, and mind you, remember, gag order happened January 3rd. So some of this ish is totally crazy to me. It's not making sense. And I think we're in our every right to ask questions. We want to know. Because what does this do? Does this make Dylan more of a target? Or like potentially? This makes this person, I'm kind of wondering true. Also, if this person is truly in that circle, did he have permission to give out this information about what happened with Dylan and what was said and how her feeling pressured? Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Clem. Thank you, Clem. I mean, I'm curious to know. No. But hey, let's keep playing.
Because everyone views her as like some star witness, the star of the case. So uh, that's what we all believe, that she kind of is getting screwed over by the feds and the prosecutor. because now she has to testify and she has to say kind of what words they put in her mouth instead of what she actually believed, and what she actually knows happened, like with her own words, not words that were like shoved in her mouth. So yeah, her attorney is pretty upset. She's pretty upset, but at the same time, she knows that she can be a huge help in this case. So it's not like she's identifying somebody she didn't see. It just didn't play out necessarily like, oh, bushy eyebrows. She saw bushy eyebrows, and was able to 100% identify him. It's just initially when detectives and feds came.
Oh, bushy eyebrows. Bushy eyebrows. I'm confused. So, did she see bushy eyebrows or not? You know what I'm saying? It is a mess. Right, Cash? I don't know. I don't know what to believe in this case anymore. Sadly, all of this and the rumors is only helping Brian's defense. I wish they would all allow the process to unfold. I know we all want to know but the trial is what's most important. You don't Darcy says, listen, I don't trust this guy. And Darcy, I'm also on the fence. I don't know what to believe. Because like I said, anybody can come up here and say I'm a relative and or friend of so and so, like, and not show receipts. And I'm also trying to think though, why what makes me on the fence about this is when I read, okay, Banfield's article, I'm wondering if it's meant to support what this person is saying. Did they speak to this person? And we could go back to Banfield again. Totally. Because they also did an update on like a news article thingy, video thingy for it too. Are we even sure the person isn't using a voice changer? I don't know. I was gonna say he has a great podcasting voice, but if he's using a voice changer, then I don't know. I don't know.
Man and took over the scene had been contaminated so badly by A, the local authorities when they first came, first responders, they stomped all over the place, contaminated the scene. All the, other people that were at the house, they were, walking up and down the steps, to make sure what they're seeing is what they're really seeing. So I mean, this is a scene that was really badly contaminated. So to equal the playing field, the feds feel like, having a star witness is critical here. Um, but just the way she was being interrogated initially was it's kind of crazy. It's not what you guys think. They weren't being all sensitive and gentle to her. They were really accusatory and kind of, pressured, put the press on her. Thought that she might have something to do with it because it just didn't make sense to them why she's the only one alive. And on top of that, didn't see anything or really hear anything. She didn't want to be nosy, didn't want to, get up in her roommate's business. She told him to be quiet. I mean, the last thing that crossed their mind was people are getting slaughtered next door and upstairs. So, I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. So, yeah, just to go over the whole, suffering trauma, she was shocked that she saw him walk past her. Like, it's not as dramatic as you guys think. Like, he was already halfway towards the kitchen and walking out. Um, and for all of y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. Um, and you have to think about it. Why would a survivor, a victim, have to hire an attorney? Obviously, they were mistreating her pretty badly as they're interrogating her, you know, and especially now throwing her name in the affidavit like that. That's all because they're pretty upset she hired an attorney to begin with. And because they want to put a
Mm,
lot of pressure on her from the public for her to.
I don't know about that. See, I don't know if I believe all that. Yeah, how was the crime scene contaminated? Doesn't the authorities put that on the white suit? Well, I mean, I would suspect some level of contamination, honestly, but I think because they're walking around. However, he claimed to be I think he's dating Dylan's best friend. That's his girlfriend. He says victims do not usually hire an attorney unless they're being railroaded by public paid liars. Lord, hey Rico, welcome. They're trying to, if they is trying to help, great, at that time. The friends who DM called went inside. Let's finish this up. I saw where I found the what is it called? The Idaho Brian Koberger prosecutor files new documents in a secretive way, for the new affidavit, I guess. Um, we'll look into that here in a minute because it was literally just the update that was provided. But I'm a little confused, okay?
Be the star witness. But aside from that, she's doing good. She's the same old Dylan. Um, yeah, no, there's no trauma, PTSD, anything. She really feels for, you know, her friends who are deceased, and she does beat herself up a little bit about not being more involved in the situation that night. But realistically, I mean, something like that is not going to cross your mind that something like that's taking place in your house. So yeah, she does feel for the family, and she's really saddened by the whole situation. But as far as her as an individual, she's still the same person. She's not like a traumatized individual. um, so yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything. And let's see. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, and that's a good point though. That is a good point though. It's about perception. People, I'm one of them. I will tend to believe a bigger source than I would somebody on a YouTube channel. Like, and I hate to say it because I'm a YouTuber, right? But I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, I'm looking at this account. It started December 30th of 2022. I don't believe any. I believe the affidavit. I just don't know what else to make of it. Mm-mm. I don't know. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Rico. You need to get some rest. Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy. What are you doing? Notice how you keep saying Dylan is the only survivor. Yeah, what about BF? Mm. Was it? He sounds older. Rico. Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. And so this is, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me go and show you guys, okay? Let's go back to Banfield real quick. Let's walk over to Banfield real quick because I don't know what to make of it. So this was their source, okay? And this is Miss Ashley Banfield.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team
Lord,
that
the
researches
commercials,
products in
commercials.
real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about
Commercials,
everything.
commercials.
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Brian, all of this is more to solving the puzzle that so many people have been conflicted over. Why on earth wouldn't someone call the police right away if they saw a figure in the house? I think this may give a little bit more context to what Dylan saw and what she was thinking and what she was going through.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I still have so many questions, and something just isn't adding up here. I mean, the always locking of the door, that makes sense because we know this was a party house and all the rooms had individual doors. But what this anonymous source has told you, it doesn't jive exactly with what's in the probable cause affidavit, which is a very important document that police use to make the arrest. And that document has the information that the roommate gave the police, even specific quotes saying that there was someone there. It's okay. I'm going to help you. That she heard that she heard crying. And then perhaps the most important thing, Ashley, that doesn't seem to jive with this new information, she said, quote, that she was in a frozen shock phase. A frozen shock phase. I don't understand how that matches up with her just thinking that there was partying going on in the house.
So it's a really good point. I was trying to sort of make sense of that as well. And I can say this about all the probable cause affidavits that I've read. They are just a skinny little piece of the picture. And there's very little of the full story that's in the probable cause affidavit. So I think both things can be true at the same time. She may have done exactly as the probable cause affidavit outlines, but these may have been some of the additional things that happened. And I think there's even more. And as far as the shock phase that she's in, being a girl who is in college at 4 o'clock in the morning in the dark house, seeing a man all clad in black that you don't recognize with a mask on might have been a little jarring, might have been a little frightening.
We're seeing a record number of migrants, so many.
But that's not what the other person is saying, right? So it's so much conflicting stuff now, and I'm a little concerned. Is it likely that maybe they're not using everything and to let us know what's going on? Possibly. My thing is this, and it's a very valid question. How does Banfield know that there's a conflict and that the statements are contradicting? How does Banfield get a source when there is a gag order that was in place as of January 3rd? Where are the sources coming from? It's a good question. Will we ever know? How is this any different than the Kim from Wazoo mom, the Kim Wazoo mom, and we were talking about her a couple weeks ago? The clouds. I'm confused too. She's getting her information from the cloud. Well, she's getting it from some cloud. Because I'm just thinking you wouldn't put that shit out there. Lord. Oh my God, y'all are messy. SW4 says she pulled it out of her A. Oh Lord. A friend of a friend? But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, because if that is the case, how did you guys get around this? Just Samantha says, look, I'm gonna be checking everything that she says. The PSA is a bare minimum when it comes to an arrest. There'll be so many more actual facts that come out in trial not included. I would agree. But where's Ashley Banfield getting her info from? And with so much misinformation out there, why put it out there like that? Gray One says it's gossip, hearsay. I know a friend and I say it, oh, BS. Can you show the TikTok lady who said BK got fired? You will lose your mind. Yeah, I will definitely show it. And then she went back and said it. Can you tell me, just Samantha, what the date of that TikTok was? Because that girl has a lot of TikToks. I ain't gonna lie. And it's 1 second. I think it was, and what is the name of it again? What is her TikTok? Something bound? Something bound or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, put it out for money. My question is, can a big news source get in trouble for releasing misinformation? I remember Ellie came out about YouTubers releasing false information. Bunny, yes. Are they held to the same standard? So curious if news networks could face the same charges, right? I'm curious too. Samantha, will you let me know what is the name of it again? Because I completely forgot what her name and if you have the date of when she released it, 'cause she said a lot. She has a lot of them. I think it was called something bound. You bound or something like that. You bound. I don't want to make it up. Yeah, I think I found it. Hold up, girl. Hold up, girl. Yeah, I found it. Here he is. Was Koberger fired from the TA job? And this was released 4 days ago.
So it states December 19th, 2022 at the top. It states his address, Brian Koberger. I felt like it was okay to go ahead and share the address because it's all over the media involved in this case because of the arrest warrant and the search warrant. Address 1630 NE Valley Road G201, Pullman, Washington 99163. United States of America, Mr. Koberger. I'm writing this letter to formally inform you of your termination of your teaching assistantship with the Director of Criminal Justice and Criminology effective December 31st, 2022. In keeping with the WSU Graduate Student Handbook, chapters 9G2 and 12E3, by the way, both of those are basically just telling him what his rights are on how to appeal, and a little bit more about expectations. It does not go into detail exactly what he's done. There are bullet points below, but at first I thought this might be like the things he broke. It's not. It's just in keeping with the Graduate Student Handbook, chapters 9G2 and 12E3. Below is a list of events that led you to being deficient on the following contingency clause of your funding. And then in quotes, it says, maintaining satisfactory progress in fulfilling assistantship service requirements and duties. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet points. Now, I will tell you, I do not have what is under the 6th bullet point, and I don't have a reason for that. I don't believe that it does anything to the validity of this, which we have verified. And
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Here you go. Brian Koberger reportedly fired as teaching assistant Banfield. That was 2 days ago, and that TikToker said it 4 days ago. What do you guys think? TikToker posted that 4 days ago. Let's go back to that so you guys can see it. Look at this. 4 days ago. This is it right here. You heard it. Tahiti said she heard it 3 days ago. The gag order was January 3rd. 4 days ago. Banfield, I mean, maybe Banfield found it and then they decided to look into it. Here it is. Brian Koberger reportedly fired as a teaching assistant Banfield 2 days ago.
I think it's important because in the Idaho murder case, there's been a lot of focus on the chief defendant in the case, Brian Koberger. And now we are learning a few things were happening in that man's life leading up to and right after the murders. Things like being investigated by his own school, Washington State University.
Oh, gray one said, how did the TikTok person get the letter? Wim says, hello, all made it. I thought you said it's all made up, but you said hello. Jazz, I need to borrow that little monocle thingy, whatever, because some of this shit is just not making sense. I think News Source needs to vet their sources better. You'd think that they would go directly to his college instead of getting info. Well, and I don't want to assume that, Bunny, but they're not saying what they're getting their sources either. Like, some of this shit is sus. Look, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Samantha, you got to watch your you guys, make sure you misspell the naughty words, please, 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 because you'll be held for review. Something is suspect on this, yo. Please, please, please. Yeah, I don't know. You're fine, just Sam. I don't know what to make of this shit. I don't know. I don't know. Like, and so I'm going back because you guys said that Pascal was live on this article thing. I went to it. Thank you so much for the $4.99. And it says, it couldn't be BK's trigger to commit M, as he allegedly did this and was terminated until long after his arrest. This is just suspect, guys. You don't trust Ashley Banfield lately? Wow. Since the gag order. Everything is super suspect. Everybody and their mother is suspect to me at this point. Your mother, she's suspect. That's just how I see it. You got something to say, you're suspect too. I don't know what to make of it. So here we have, let's look at this, and I believe this is the article right here. Idaho murders, Brian Koberger, prosecutor files new documents in secretive proceedings. Secretive proceedings. They're still secretive. New documents filed. Yes, the rabbit, I'm suspect. Your mom is suspect. The mods are suspect. Your children are suspect. Baby Bunny is suspect. Everybody's a suspect at this point. I cannot. I suspect everyone, including your mother. All right, Idaho murders, Brian Koberger, prosecutor files new documents in secretive proceedings. The activity comes from an attorney for victim Kaylee Gonsalves. Family appealed the court gag order. The Idaho prosecutor handling the murder case against student stabbing suspect Brian Koberger filed new documents Wednesday in the Latah County Magistrate Court. Court information in the case, which has been removed from the Idaho online portal for unspecified security concerns, is updated daily in a PDF document posted to the state website and said. The file shows that the court received a new affidavit from Latah prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson and a court memo on Wednesday. The filings themselves have not yet been seen by the public. So we haven't seen it. There isn't anything yet. Everybody, there's nothing. Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32, which governs court records, gives the court 3 days to release non-exempt documents upon request. They're probably going to get a lot of requests if they're non-exempt. The court also posted documents to its website once a week on Friday. The new filing comes after an attorney for one of the victims' families appealed the gag order. Okay, and I talked about that. There was the appeal. I think they added the attorneys to this gag order. It was either the 19th or the 20th, which has stifled, public comment on the case from the prosecution, the defense, the investigators, and other officials, and was amended last month to also restrict attorneys for the victim's witness and their family. So how is Banfield, and I asked again, how is Banfield getting all this information? Because everybody and their mother is restricted. I don't know. How is everybody felony? How? Right. How? Lord have mercy, not the grasshopper. Brianne says, do you see this? It's a cloud. That's where the information the hell's coming from. Lord have mercy. You guys are messy in these comments. Don't be messy. It's only Friday. Well, it is Friday, so I guess you could be messy. That's funny. That's funny. All right, let me continue. So Shannon Gray, the attorney for 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves' parents, called the non-dissemination order. My God, I can't even say that. Oh my God, I'm losing my blah blah blah. I should have gotten some water. So it's vague, all right, and unconstitutional in a court filing last week. As an attorney for one of the victims' families, I'm allowed to relay to the media any of the opinions, views, or statements of those family members regarding any part of the case, as they allowed to speak about the case under the First Amendment, he wrote. Koberger is accused of the murders. We know this. Okay. So that's it. There is nothing as far as update-wide new affidavit. I haven't seen anything other than the Idaho prosecutor handling the murder case against the student stabbing suspect Koberger filed new documents Wednesday. And that's it. stuff has been removed from the online portal. The file shows that the court received a new affidavit. There's a new affidavit, but I don't believe it's been released yet. I don't believe it's been released yet. What are we waiting for? Oh my gosh, Heather, does the guy sound like the Drunken Turkey show guy? Oh, Heather, you better stop. Yo, I had some of their subbies come over here and they got mad at me because I said something about Kim Wazoo and whatever. But that was just stating my opinion. So Banfield's making stuff up just like it started with. I mean, unless Banfield can produce a source, that's what they said, and they're sticking by it. Tahiti. Tahiti's like, I'm trying to buy a sticker, so I can't buy a sticker. Oh my gosh. She says, I can't buy a sticker, so I can't speak on this. Apparently, you've got your own gag order in the chat. Tahiti, you've been gag ordered. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. But this shit is sus. No worries. If you can't type, I can't read. I'm having a hard time reading. And some of you guys in the comments were going in. Let me go to these comments real quick on the video because this was just this morning that I had released. Oh my gosh, thank you, Bunny, for the $4.99. And I think I saw another one and I might have missed it. Just Girl, thanks for your hard work and coverage. Oh no, that's not it. Oh Lord. That's from a different video. Okay. So here. I want us to look at, thank you so much for the $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate you. For the super sticker. The mystery source of the drunk turkey seems like you keep saying that. I don't know. You've been dropping that name a couple times, and I'm always kind of, listen, I'm suspicious of you and what you're saying. That's what I'm gonna say. I mean, you keep dropping it. Like, am I supposed to go over there and find out and do a voice? I'm not doing voice matching. That's not my expertise. Um, some people do that though, and it's no shade. Vanilla Villains Cupcakes. Okay, I truly believe that there might be something to be said about that. But I don't know. And unless I am not a voice, I'm not going to put 2, 3 voices together. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that somebody on YouTube decides to steal somebody's voice to put it on a recorder and then release it. Like we saw that, Are you trying to say that this person is Joseph Moore, they're the new Joseph Morris? I don't know. And that would suck, but it wouldn't surprise me at this point. Now I'm suspicious of everybody. Okay? You could be suspicious of me. That's fine. I'm just saying, you know? See? That my point. Peekaboo, Peekaboo puts these eyes and felonies putting them out. Now I'm suspicious too. Every time I get somebody putting down another content creator that I really don't talk about on my chat, I'm always like, my eyes are like this. Like, what you want me to do about it? Like this, like this, like this, like this, like that. Just saying. All right, let's read these comments real quick. Miss Clover's like, look, like this. Like this. What you want me to do? All right. Let's go and read these comments because they're interesting. Somebody in here, and I want to highlight, yeah, nothing surprises me either. Look at just the T to put their eyes in there. You just never know. I don't know. I think this could be part of the defense strategy to confuse the public. Even if this version is the truth, I think others would be purposely put out to create defense out of nothing. If it was posted 4 weeks ago, wouldn't it be before the gag order? Well, the gag order was January 3rd. So yeah, that would be it would be after the gag order, not before. After. I don't know. Nothing surprises you. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. After they put that shit out about Kim from Wazoo, I was like, I'm good. I'm not watching that anymore. But that's just me. Oh Lord, did I just close something? And no shade. I just did not like what they did there. Was this person saying that is saying about Dylan doesn't make sense? I don't know. And I responded to Vivacious, right. They are speaking very confidently. The person on the video is. Dylan should sue the fuck out of the police. They don't give the AF who they out at risk. I completely believe, although it doesn't matter what I do or don't believe. Jen said the stories keep changing with Dylan. I'm going to agree with Brian Enton. This doesn't make sense. F off what does that say? Rianne, who the AF, believe it or not? Who the fuck are any of you people? Oh, I don't believe it. Who believes oh my lordy. Bunch of YouTube wannabe detectives. This is referring to content creator videos, by the way. Okay, well, Ghetto Toaster said it. I've been saying that about Banfield. She's constantly saying that she has an unnamed source when she reports new details. It's getting ridiculous. There should be no new details coming out to the public until the trial starts. She riles me up, Rabbit. I used to like her. You know what? I agree with that. I mean, I agree with that. Like, what other details should there be? I don't know. If people start sharing the video and it gets taken down, then I believe every word the guy says. Lord. You agree, Jasmina? I agree. I would have to agree with that. And she's a journalist. The way I see it is like she's got more resources than a lot of us do, right? I would have to agree. I would have to agree with what is being said. Maybe it's just good old legal Washington weed he's been smoking. Oh Lord. But I agree with that comment. I think this man's version of Dylan's reaction makes more sense than the affidavit. Okay. I'm not getting notifications. Oh, I'm so sorry. Some of you guys aren't getting notifications. I'm so sorry about that. Shout out to Heather. Hopefully she's, I think she might be in the chat or she might not. Maybe she didn't get the notification. Random videos from YouTube are not legitimate journalism sources. I would agree. The problem, and I did answer to this subby here. Shout out to the subby. I said I agree. Most YouTubers are not journalists, myself included. I am not a journalist. But most news outlets get their info from YouTube. Thanks for your comment. And that is fact. They do. Thank you, SW. She says, weird. All the IU girls belong to the Alpha Phi, and the pro that had an altercation with BK was a member or ooh, and it's listed in the name. Ooh. That's interesting. That's interesting. I didn't even know that. A lot of people have said that this is connected to one of the sororities. Could be. Banfield used to work for Court TV on HLN. In my opinion, she knows better than to release information on a case like this. This could ruin the case. William says, I don't believe the story for a second. Invisible footprints, but no bloody footprint trails. So he was one leg and say that again. Hold up. I'm like, is it spelled correctly? Is it levitates? Levitates? Then just invites her friends over to contaminate the crime scene? I don't think that's what he said though, William, did he? I don't think that's what he said. It's the mushroom. The professor was the same sorority? That's what SW said. I told you Banfield isn't the grasshopper anymore. Nancy taught her well over the years. Lord. I didn't know she was under Nancy like that. Yeah, I've got so many questions, William. I would agree. Levitates. I would agree. It's not making sense. A lot of it isn't. Let me continue to read these comments. However, Felony Melanie, who's also in the chat, how damning, as if she hasn't been through enough. This turd and Ashley Felony Melanie was like, this turd and Ashley put another bullseye on her back. That I do agree. I do agree that this puts another bullseye on her. And it's interesting because you don't really hear a lot about BF. Maybe that's the thing that's missing. He was naked and floating through the house. Did I read that correct? That's what it sounded like. He levitated. Stop. Tahiti, Arizona. Oh, Lord. My Nancy comment word. You're fine. You're fine. I hope they get a lot of evidence out of Brian's car. All Brian would have to do is wear those boots, shoe covers, and take them off when he left the house. I mean, something. Something. I don't know what to believe, you guys. It was so magical. Yes, it was magical. So let me ask you guys a question. I got 100 people here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, while you're in here. Now I'm kind of wondering, where do you guys land with this? Like, I'm just wondering if Bethany was honestly even there or came after the murders, why the door was open. Well, and if she's not even in the like her statement's not there. She wasn't really yeah, where was she and how that kind of, I mean, the affidavit says a little bit about her and kind of where she saw the victims and stuff, right? But now I'm kind of wondering. Now I'm just wondering, hazmat suits and booties? I don't know. Dylan is being dragged for just surviving. It is really sad. She didn't murder the roommates. No, I agree, Sakina. It is really sad, in my opinion. But this video that this person who, if he's really in her circle, released, doesn't help the situation either, in my opinion. Why put that shit out? And not only that, is this Banfield's source? None of this is making sense. Because if you think about Banfield, like we take them as a credible source. Was that their source? I don't know. I don't know. You think all questions will be answered in trial. Exactly. Dylan is being dragged. If she showed up that morning, nice to see. No, you're not crazy. Could have came home and was like, damn, does it smell in here? And went to bed. I mean, assuming that we don't know what Dylan's state of mind was either. Like, we don't know if she was drinking. She could have been drinking. She could have been high. You know, you're 20, you're doing the 20-year-old thing. Like, in college, we don't know. Maybe, like, it doesn't say anything about her state of mind. Was she under the influence of anything? We don't know. Absolutely not. But anyways, guys, wanted to come live and talk a little bit about this and let me know your thoughts in the comments about it. Clearly, I'm confusion about everything. I'm confusion about the video that we talked about earlier. I'm confusion about the affidavit and I'm confusion about Banfield. And I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. You know? Did you guys notice that once I said the person that was calling out that other channel fun, they just disappeared? I don't know why. You could have stayed and watched. This video is I'm confusion and everybody says, but you notice that I called out the, I mean, I wasn't rude. I was just like, why are you putting this person's channel name in there? Like, yo, now they're gone. Suspect. That's suspicious. It implies DM was the only person that left alive a few minutes. True. True. Yes, thank you so much. You feel bad for the roommates because no one deserves to get attacked like that. Maybe this might be an unpopular opinion. No, I don't think that it's not an unpopular opinion. I think I feel bad for everyone involved, you know? What who it was another account earlier that was in there putting in that so and so that the person that runs that video sounds like this and I said we're not doing that, you know? You side-eye everybody. Darcy's like, Darcy came in these comments and was side-eyeing everybody. Everybody. I don't know where the person left. I wonder if they left, if they got mad because I said I wasn't going to. They just kept dropping the name, and I got a little irritated. Like, why are you dropping that person's name all the time? I hear this. The mystery source of the drunk turkey seems like Lana from Truth and Transparency. Just say it. especially if you slow it down. They said this twice. I don't know. I mean, I know people do anything for a click and view, but I don't know if they would have, like, they put out that video on a separate account. I don't know. You think that they would pull more headlines from this video as a source? Well, I'm saying you cite your sources. Hippie Babe, thank you so much, Bella, for dropping that link. Hippie Babe, thank you. You think you would cite your sources? That's what you do. You cite your sources, right? You give credit to where credit is due. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. They are too much for you. Yeah. Well, they're interesting. But anyways, guys, I'm going to head out because I have to get out. But I want to shout everybody out in the chat. Thank you so much for the super stickers. Let me do a little rabbit twerk for everyone before we head out. I appreciate everybody here in the chat and all the members as well. Here we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, if you are a member, when the rabbit twerk plays, feel free to, like, I love seeing all the rabbit twerks in the chat. That is so freaking awesome. When you're a member, you get to use the rabbit twerk. Yes, look at that. You could twerk slow or rabbit twerk, whatever suits and floats your boat, right? Whatever. Interesting. Tiki says, harsh reality implied the other roommate didn't even exist, and she was made up by Dylan and her friends. Lord have mercy, Lord. I don't know. See, I cannot be held responsible for the colleagues here on YouTube because that's what we are. We're colleagues. We're all colleagues to each other. I don't know what they put out. I can only be responsible for the things that I put out. But hey, whatever floats their boat. All right, guys, you guys have a great Friday. I might be live later on today. And rabbits out. Where's the exit door? Bye, guys.